So, Dawn, the second video is going to start at this part. And the first thing I'll say about this passage is I notice for once your memory of how the hands operated and which hand takes which notes got very confused. So, for instance, in this... Okay, up to about here, around about here, you started taking extra notes in your left hand, and then you were up here too early on your third finger, and then you kind of lost it. And, you know, crucial to playing anything from memory is the successful navigation of all the correct fingering. Once you are feeling that you're not fingering the piano keys right at that point in time, your memory just collapses. So for this, I would suggest this sort of practice where you just, well, I'll play it and then talk about it. So you're going to play all of the left-hand notes that you would play, but you're just going to play the melody in the right hand. And again, it helps so many things. It helps structure your memory. It helps this idea of layering, because you want to always know where the melody is, and then everything else is subordinate, played, you know, crudely, at a lesser dynamic to the melody. So, I would recommend this practice. Okay, up to that point, I have stuck strictly to what is in the, forget that, because of course I've transcribed everything into Sibelius. But in those two bars I've stuck strictly to what each hand does play, but I've observed where the melody really is, and how I have to finger that melody when I actually put in the extra notes in the right hand. But they're just accompanying notes, and again, to get your memory tighter, really know the pared down version of the music. I mean, you could pare it down to chords in the left hand, but naturally those chords were quite difficult to find as chords. So I think I'll stick with what I recommended. So 1, 2, then you can work, can I layer that better, make this? Bass line. We've got, as throughout this piece, a bass line which holds notes for their full beat duration, and again with this pared down practice you can perhaps give more attention to that. Hear that bass B. That was difficult. I forget what fingering you have. I can't quite manage a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 there. I have to compromise. I would probably hold the little finger until I had to do that. I've got the problem with my little finger. You might be able to do better than there. Okay, but so several things I'm looking out for in this practice: building memory, building layers, listening to bass line. And that final note is held here. Again, that's actually only true of this bar. Generally, in this piece, you're letting the thumbs go, as we'll talk about later. But just be aware you hold the thumbs in this one bar, bar 37. So. Going on then, again, work out clearly what the left hand plays and just play the melody notes in the right hand as. And you have to go over and pick that F sharp up in your left hand. And then as you play the next group, you've swapped to your third finger here. You're playing 4 semiquavers in the left hand, and then 4 semiquavers again, the swap here. So your fifth finger can access this top melody C sharp, and then swapping to 3 so you can access this entire C sharp. So I'll just play that again without all the commentary and pausing, just to give you the effect of what you might want to aim for in this practice. Sorry. Actually, you're pretty secure on that because you have to work on this. On this bar, I listened to about 3 or 4 times to convince myself you got the rhythm in the right hand right. Sorry. So the triplet, the duplet, and then the triplet, but with a silent tie note at the beginning. I had to listen to it so many times. I wasn't convinced by it, I suppose is what I'm saying. I think you kind of placed this up to there, you're fine, but I wasn't too certain that you placed that there properly. Whether you kind of distorted the pace, but really listen out to that. Which brings us on to this passage. So, this is a case in point again about layering and dynamic. It was not as crude as that, but it was tending towards that rather, nondescript, frankly boring sound. It's marked pianissimo here, so you've got to take it right down. Several layers of music here. You've got perhaps the least important, the accompaniment. You've got the top melody, but you've also got this melody in between the accompaniment and the top. So I think lots of right hand practice here. Fingering you observe. I'm sure you do this swapping, but again, think why you're doing it. You're doing it to bring out this counter melody, and unless you hear it working, all that clever fingering doesn't mean anything. Okay, so I don't like that, and sometimes go back to 2 hands playing the right hand part. This is all great for memories because you're building up other memory support for the piece of music. It's not just, the performance playthrough. Then I would just add in the left hand as fifths. We know in this passage each bar repeats twice, so here's the next couple of bars. Where the figuration changes a bit, and it's not so appropriate to practice in that way. So again, think about layers, think about taking the whole dynamic down. This has got to be this tiny. Think about using the left pedal, the unicorder pedal, also in conjunction with your sustaining pedal. So. And that swirling of pa, 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 pa. The 2 melodies really, they're sort of climaxing, aren't they, towards the 2nd and 3rd beats of each of the bars. Don't take it too far yet, keep this still very piano. In fact, when you look at the dynamic markings, there's no crescendo marked. There's nothing to say we get any louder until bar 51, where in fact we get even softer as a triple pianissimo. So you've got to be very subtle with your dynamic here, but crucially, you can't let all this obtrude too much in it. At bar 47, you're giving me this. And in the following bar, the same. I'll carry on. Yeah. You're not giving me that G flat, okay? So you've got to go over, find that G flat, okay? I'm going to stop there because that interrupted by the phone call, which I might have to answer, but that completes that section anyway.